All right, so we got the body stickered up. We got the XRT on the bench and we're getting ready to mount it up. But guys, I don't really know what I'm doing. So I figured you guys won't know what you're doing either. And I'm gonna go ahead and spend a little bit of time, figure out what is the best way to mount this body and then mount it up. So on top of that, guys, I'm gonna do a couple other things to the truck. Let me show you that here in a second. But first, let's get the body over here. I'll show you the tools and then I'll get it all mounted up and I'll show you what I did and I'll show you those other mods I'm doing. So let's do it. All right, so check it out, guys. This body is, you know, it's a lot heavier than stock. I will show you that here in a second. I'll grab a stock body, weigh this up. But let me show you guys what I'm putting on the truck as far as upgrades. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the springs. I believe these were the stiffest. Yeah, I think these are the stiffest. This is 7848 GTX. These are 4.594 rate blue. So these are going to be super stiff. They might be a little too stiff, but I got them for front and rear, I believe, or maybe I got a little bit softer for the front. I think I did that is what I did. Yeah, I did. So we're going to go ahead. There's even one more stiffer than the blue. So we're going to do yellow in the back, blue in the front. Because right now, the truck is running super awesome, handles super well. These GPM shocks are just money, guys. I got the, I finally got the M2C pistons in there, and I'm using the stock springs right now, and they're working flawlessly with 50 in the rear and 47.5 in the front. But it's just a little too soft. And so let me show you what the truck weighs, and then we're going to keep going on mounting up that body. So let's do it. All right, well, that's not bad. 27.24 ounces. That's no body and that's no batteries. Now this is, we're going to go ahead and just set these parts in the truck just so we can get an overall weight, I guess, huh? To be fair. So new body, new weight. Truck is weighing in at 13.3 ounces. Let's go ahead, add some batteries to that. So if we're going to be running these 10,000 milliamps, that'll be the total weight of the truck, and we are at 33 pounds, 10.2 ounces. First things first, we're going to zip all the old mounts off. Alright, so we got the front off so we can get our wrenches in there, but it's also looking like we're going to have to take off the front bumper, and we're also going to have to take off the rear bumper and the wing mount. But guys, to match the body, we're going to go ahead and install these. I have these on my website as well. I also have them in stock. These are Durlin, machined out of Durlin, super tough. I've got one here in my truck. It's actually dyed black. Can't see it. Super awesome, haven't broke it since. So yeah, let's keep going. We're going to continue on here. You got to take off the wing mount in order to get in there. Guys, the piece in the back, it only goes one direction. I figured that out so far. But I wanted to show you up close this wing mount, really snappy fast. Comes with all the hardware and the nuts, 8mm. Guys, there is the proof of the Cal RC Mooslick, no rust. Pressure wash this truck every day. So there's that piece. I'm going to go ahead just to match the white body. This is my old one. I took it off, dyed a new one. That is what those look like. And then super fast. You can see this looks different on both sides. It's super nice. They got, I don't know if that's like a BBB, BasherBodies, but there's their logo on there. And then the front is going to look a little bit different from the back. So this is going to be on the inside of the truck, and this is going to be going toward the wing, toward the back of the truck. Fits down in there nicely. And then you're going to put your, these are going to be what, M6s, I believe, through this direction right here, through the back side, and then you'll be able to capture the nut because there's not very much room. with your little cross wrench or a crescent wrench or whatever you want to use there. So, right, there it is, guys. We got the whole back removed. We got the wing off. You definitely have to take off the wing, and then real quick, check it out. This part is going to come with the 3 nuts, all this good stuff. Don't worry about that. And then on the bottom, you're going to have this little piece. It's only going to go one direction. And BasherBodies has got it figured out that this is supposed to go, this is their, kind of like their mark to show, I guess, that it goes toward the inside. And it can only really go on there one way. So check that out. And then, so you're going to set that down on there. You're going to reach underneath of here. And then you're going to bring in your M6s from this side. All right, there you go. Got your piece in the bottom. It's going to come with 2 washers, so just go ahead and remove one. Just push those through. Take your washer that they provide you with. Not sure why theirs are so long. I'm sure we'll figure that here in a moment, but check that out, guys. Those are super long. Get your nut on there. Now here's the test, guys. Can you fit your star wrench in there? It looks like you can, but it's not 8mm, so your star wrench will not work. Well, you might have to search around, but I found this. It's kind of an older tool that I got. It's got an 8mm wrench on the back of it. So we'll go ahead and snug those down. We're going to get out the drill and make this go a lot faster. Alright, so the front is going to be just a little bit easier since you're going to have a little bit more room. Go ahead, get those bumpers out of the way. Probably best you just unscrew the whole thing, but we'll just go ahead, loosen it up. Hey guys, not to interrupt the video, but we're going to go ahead and install this GPM 7075 aluminum center shaft. Had to take the truck apart. Notice we had a bent servo link, so we're going to go ahead and replace that. Let's get back to installing the body. By the way, guys, you can find these on my website, www.pnwrcmadness.com. I will leave a link in the description below. Also, guys, please do remember subscribe, hit that bell button down in the comment section, and hit the subscribe button in the video in the right hand corner. Thanks, guys, so much. All right, guys, last but not least, we're going to drive these last ones through the front. This block right here, I think it just goes any way. It doesn't really matter. Kind of snug. So drive that through, and then you're going to put the nut on the back side. On this side, don't forget your washer. So there you go. We got the mounting plates on front and rear. Guys, we made a couple discoveries, so it took a little bit longer than expected. We got a broken arm. We had a broken drag link. But anyways, so this is how I'm going to do it. And I think it's going to work out pretty well. So basically, I got these in. And I want to show you this really quick. They have a little bit of play. You're supposed to have a little bit of play, front and rear. So basically, just get that play centered up. And then stand in front of the truck. And go ahead and just place the body down. So once you got the body down in place, you're just kind of set it there, and what you have here is your bumper support. Now you're going to want to make sure this little spot right there is past that support, so then once you do get your holes drilled, it's basically just going to kind of rest on there or wherever we set our little pins. So set it up front, center it up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reach under and look and mark it with a pin. Alright, check it out. So once we got it kind of set where we wanted it to go, you're definitely going to want to make sure you're squared all the way to the back of the truck. You know, when you're standing in front of it, definitely a straight line all the way back. Kind of look at your spaces around your bumpers and all that stuff. If they're not all tweaked, make sure you're equal on both sides to the best that you can. And then just go ahead, grab yourself a felt pen or a marker. All right, we got the body centered up where we want it to go. Really more worried about front to back right now, not necessarily center, but front to back. And center as well, that way we get a good mark on this hole. And you know, there's probably other ways to do this, but this is just what I'm going to do. So I'm going to reach up under there, and what I can see, kind of tough, it's not exact, but right underneath of my finger should be that mark. And it is. Okay, so we got that marked. Now everything we're going to do is just going to be off the calipers, and I got a metric tape, and we're just going to drill some holes. We're going to use this bad boy right here, body reamer, and yeah, we'll be right back. Alright, so I forgot, there's one more thing I want to show you guys before I do start drilling. Grab yourself a set of calipers, and you're going to want to measure out the little pins coming out, and I'm guessing these are supposed to be about 8, says 8. So we're just going to drill the holes in the bodies right at 8 millimeters, just like this says. That way there's no play, and kind of snug to put on, but we'll show you when we're done. So get yourself some calipers. And one other thing that's awesome, you can get these, this is by Racer's Edge. This is a body reamer, and it actually has a little scale in there, a little ruler. So I'll stop right at 8 millimeters. Hopefully I don't go no further, and it should fit nice and snug. So we got the kind of the setback. We kind of got a little dot, and actually guys, I just went ahead and applied some tape on there for me to see better. And then what I did is I found center. All I did was I took a ruler, and I just eyeballed it from the center of the sticker, and I lined up these 2 dots. And I took a couple measurements just to double check. These 2 points, top to top, center to center, are what I believe to be 41 millimeters. So we're going to go ahead and take that center line. This is our reference mark. If we're off just a couple millimeters, it's going to be okay. And we're going to come out here 20.5 and drill a hole. But first, we're going to go ahead and find a square on the body. So we're just going to take the ruler and this straight edge, and basically all we're going to do is we're going to come back, and we're just going to make sure we're getting the same dimension on both sides at 20.5 off the center. Alright, so I'm not too nervous about doing this because part of my job every day is to drill holes in cabinets and expensive products, but definitely double check, look at your lines, take your rulers and all that good stuff, kind of double check both ways, making sure, you know, you're kind of referencing off maybe the radius where it's coming off, which it's kind of hard, but if you use that method I just showed you, it should work. No problem. So then get yourself, like I said, a nice body reamer, and we're going to make sure we're reaming it to 8 millimeters. Now you could, you know, get away with using a drill bit, I suppose, but I like to use this method just because it kind of it cleans up the edges first of all. So we'll start this way, go 3/4 of the way through, flip it back over, and because it's at an angle, it cleans up the burrs. Oh man, this is not your ordinary body. I can definitely tell that. Holy cow. As we might cheat. Holy cow, that is thick. We might cheat, we might grab a drill bit and then come back and fine tune her with this. So we'll be. The thing you're going to want to do, because it's kind of tricky and you want to get them, you know, the holes pretty nice. Let's slide this over here. What you're going to want to do, guys, is get yourself a tape measure, or if you got yourself some sort of long, this isn't metric, the metric runs upstairs, but it's okay. I'm going to burn an inch. I'm going to hold her right directly on the center of that little machine, a brass piece, thank you. I forgot who commented to that. And burning an inch, we are at 19 1/4. So we're going to take that and we're going to transfer it to the body. So because it's hard to do, it's hard to get the dimensions. You know, I don't know why it's such a pain in the butt, but it is. So we're going to go ahead, put the blue tape on the inside of the truck, and we're just going to go ahead and get our 19 1/4. off the center hole, burning an inch. And then we're going to do all the squaring up, back, figure out what we got here, because that's going to be a different number. And we're just going to hope for the best. It is a BasherBodie, but we do want to put it on nicely, and we do want it to last. So 19 1/4. Make a nice fine point there. Double check I'm centered up. In inches. Metric. Okay, guys, next you're going to take your calipers, do the same thing, measure the posts on the back, and then what you're going to do is just find the center on the body. So we'll put some more tape on there. Find the center on the body and then split your differences. So the rear posts look to be 50 millimeters. So the front was 40 and the rear is going to be 50. Well, it's kind of tough to find the center, so we're just going to put our tape in there. And there's some good solid lines in there we can measure to. Looks to be 6 inches, so we're going to call 3 inches the centered. And we're going to double check that. That looks pretty darn good. So we're going to make another mark in there at 3 inches so we can connect the dots just to square it up. So we got our center on the inside and we got our 1 dimension, so we're just going to pull off. It was 50, so we're just going to set this at 25 millimeters. We're just going to come off that center section there, which this is not easy, guys. You can't even fit the calipers in there to do it. So I think what we're going to do, 25 millimeters. I'm going to take a piece of paper and I'm going to cut it 50 millimeters and I'm going to stick it in there. So it might be kind of difficult to see, but I actually took a piece of tape and I cut it 50 millimeters wide. There you go, you can see that. And then there's actually a center line on the body. I didn't even need to put this tape on here, but it lines right up with the center. So I did some good laying out there. So line that mark up, line that mark up. We're square. We got our 50 millimeters. And then what I did is I just took my caliper, because it's hard to measure, and I came off this groove right there in the same exact spot. I measured it there, I measured it there, and now we're ready to drill our holes, and we're almost ready to go rip. So let's do it. Fillers, one last thing. I'm down here, guys, don't worry. Alright, so one last thing I want to show you before I do this part is, well, look at there's what it looks like all installed. I might end up cutting these off or just getting some new ones. I'm not sure why they're that long. Maybe somebody can leave me in the comments below. It's not hurting anything, and actually this makes it a lot easier for me because I can get to this. Not sure if it's gonna be faster than taking off the body with clips, but I have nothing against clips at all, and actually the body does pop off with those fast clips. So I'm bashing this truck super hard and I want something that's going to hold up. Also, check it out, we got some new stickers coming out. We got these right here, they're holographic, and then we got some window stickers coming. Anyways, here's what I want to show you. I know the video ended 5 minutes ago. So your truck body should go on just like that, and then I'm just going to take some E6000, okay? And not a whole lot. I don't think it matters which side. I'm going to go on the smooth side. I'm actually going to go on the rough side. That way it kind of adheres to those little holes in there. Not a whole lot, okay? I don't want it all sticking out. And we're not going to drive this today because we've got some other things to do. And we're just going to lock it down in place with the pin. And there's a smooth side and a rough side. Hopefully that doesn't lock down. All right. Not sure if you can see that, but just a little bit of E6000 on there. I don't really want it coming out the edges. That way we're not constantly having to... These are nice. I don't know where you got them from, but they're nice, and I don't want to be losing them. They're super thick. I don't have any more. And there we go. Lock the front down. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. I will catch you guys later. As Kevin Talbot does. All right, guys, we got it. Check it out. Locked and loaded. Ready to bash. Hey, one other thing, look at that. It's got a little slight cant to it, just like my Chevy truck does. Even though I'm not sure that's a Chevy. Woo, baby, she looks sexy, boys.